Hello, Awesome Corn Possum here, and welcome to a new thing on the channel, some Crusader Kings 2. Uh, let's just give a quick talk about what Crusader Kings 2 is as we look at this very colorful map. So, well, first of all, why am I playing this? Well, if you haven't been paying attention to my previous playthrough of RimWorld, let's just say that Season 1 of RimWorld has come to an end, and so while I love RimWorld, it's a great game, and I'm sure I'll get back to it, I wanted to branch out and try some new things, though this isn't exactly new to me. I have over 400 hours in Crusader Kings 2, so it's not new to me. It's probably new to a lot of other people, though, because it's kind of a niche title. And apologies if the the music's a little loud. I've been trying to work on that, but the music's going a little nuts sometimes. But, so what is Crusader Kings 2? It's a game where you play through the medieval ages in Europe and some of the East, if you choose, and rather than most games where you play as a person, so you would play as this king or you'd play as, this ruler, in Crusader Kings 2 you play as an entire dynasty. So as long as you're having heirs, once your person that you're controlling dies, you can move on to your heir and play down the timeline. And there's no real objective, really. Some of your characters will have certain objectives they want to accomplish, but overall the game is one of those where you have to make your own goals. So I've played games before in the British Isles, I've played some in Scandinavia, I've played some over here in current day Lithuania, but today we're going to be going back to something I've played before, and that's the Kingdom of Navarra. So why am I playing Navarra? It's really because they have an interesting culture. So they are the Basque culture, and what that means for them is that they have, I think it'll tell us here, they have access to the absolute cognatic law, which means males and females can both inherit equally. In most of the other cultures, or probably I should say all of the other cultures, males are definitely preferred over females, but in the Basque culture you can have a queen with no problems. So getting started here at the January 1st, 867 date. We could go back earlier, but Navarra doesn't exist then, and I've never actually completed a game of Crusader Kings after having put 400 hours in it. I've never completed it all the way through to the end because either I die, and when I say die, I mean my lineage ends, or I've accomplished what I want to accomplish and I just move on to something else. So I'm going to choose here King Garcia of Navarra as our starting character. He is of the house, and I'm probably going to really butcher this, Inyiga. So as long as we keep having heirs, in the house Inyiga, we can keep playing the game. And we have one vassal that's Duke Asnor of Aragon, and he is our son-in-law. So let's get started. I want to play this game with Iron Man mode, which means no resaving, no saving and reloading. And I'm setting some of these options. You can pause it and check it out, but basically the only thing I really changed from the default was this exclave on independence, which basically just means it would be very difficult for me to, as a character over here in modern day Spain, to have any holdings over here in Germany, because it's it's the year 867, and it's hard to control something that's that far away without modern computers and telephones and airplanes and vehicles other than horses. So let's get it started and see how this goes. Yep. All right. Yeah. Just start my Iron Man, please. Alright, we're playing as a Basque Catholic king. Like we said, we have access to absolute cognatic. We can prepare campaigns to reconquer Iberia, and basically that means as a Catholic ruler, the southern half of modern-day Spain is in the hands of Islamic rulers right now, in this time period, and so we can call invasions to try to make it a Catholic area. So we're feudal, so we can have castles, and we're Catholic, so we have a pope, and the pope can either hand us blessings or can basically excommunicate us. So it's going to be a little slow at the start because we've got all these things up at the top that we need to take care of. First things first, let's change this from this terrain map, I don't really like it, to realms. That really gives us an idea of who is controlling what kingdoms exist. So we've got some decisions we can make. So let's just disable all hints for now. Yes, permanently disable hints. I don't care. So we can recruit a court physician. We can promote a commander. We can borrow money. We can search for... So all these extra things we can do, but since these are the kind of important ones, let's go ahead and look for a court physician. You have sent messengers and scouts in all directions to scour the realm for skilled physicians that would be willing to take up residence in your court. Word should reach you shortly if they manage to find a suitable candidate. Hopefully they will not bring back a quacksalver. I hope I do not have to wait long. Okay, so vassal inheritance. So what's complained? There are vassals with worry on lines of succession. So we have a steward. What is he? He has the barony. So within our main country, or excuse me, our main county of Navarra, we've got Pamplona, the county capital. We've got a bishopric of Lares, so our bishops will control that. The city of Tudela, so our mayors will control the cities, and a barony of Tafalla, so it's like a smaller castle holding. And what that's telling us is that our baron has an heir who is a count of this other place over here. So it's possible that when... Excuse me, let's get back to you. No, that's not what we wanted. Here, this guy. When the Baron dies, our barony could go to an enemy, basically, an outside person. So we kind of want him to have a wife, but I don't think we can... We can arrange a marriage for him. I don't know if he will appreciate that. Do we have any good? We have our own daughters, but I can tell that by the large blood drop, so they are close. Well, I've got a half-sister. I can marry you to my half-sister, but she's 58. She won't give you any children. And I don't want to give up our own daughter for a little barony, so let's forget about that for a while. So we can set an ambition. So what does our person want? Ambitions, where are you? Ambitions up here. Okay. So, ambitions. What do we want to do while we are king? Create a treasury. So do we want some artifacts, some, you know, some great works? Make a friend. Have become exalted, so have a high prestige. See the realm prosper. So stay at peace for 5 years. I don't know if we're going to do that. And build a war chest. So I really have trouble making money in this game because I'm always doing something with it, spending it somewhere. So I think I'm just going to say make a friend, because it should be easy to complete, and when we do, we get a short-term boost to our diplomacy, and people like us a little more, so let's go ahead and set that. Yes, want to make a friend. Pick a character focus, so I can decide what I want to be good at. I'm pretty crappy at personal combat skills, but I don't think the king is going to be... I don't think I'm going to allow him to you know, go into battle and duel anyone. Pretty good at everything else. Maybe stewardship could be increased a little bit. Here's my main stats, like my personal stats, and then as king I get some bonus to those through my advisors and through some of the skills of my wife, so, or your husband if you're playing queen. So my stewardship is not bad, but it's lower than the rest. So what kind of focus do I want to choose? Is there anything that will increase my stewardship? Yes, I can do that or that. So either can have one that raises my stewardship by 2 and gives me plus 20 city vassal opinion, or one that gives me just plus 3 overall. And my mayor already likes me, so I don't need the city vassal opinion bonus, so I'll just take stewardship, and we won't be able to change that for another 5 years. Set Navarra as our crown focus. We're currently looking for a court physician, and let's set a designated regent, so if we were to become incapable, if something were to happen to us and we can't make decisions, someone will make decisions on our behalf. And ideally I want that to be someone who really likes me, so someone that won't bump me off for their own personal gain. And I want it to be someone that's not envious, because people have different traits. Like this guy, he's wrathful, he's brave, he's diligent, and he's proud. So it's like the 7 deadly sins and some different like bonus positive traits. So 7 virtues. So I probably would not want... Is there someone... Deceitful. Probably wouldn't want to pick Aurea as our regent, because she's deceitful, she's cynical, she's arbitrary. She wouldn't be a good... She wouldn't make good decisions, let's just say that. I think I'm just going to pick... would I want to pick my son-in-law as my regent? Because he is my heir, and... fairly sure he's my heir, and he might want to see me shuffle off this mortal coil so he can move up in the world. So I'm going to choose the bishop as our regent. So we have some children, so a grandson, and we'll need to give them a childhood focus. What did... Let's give him... Let's have him loosely be tutored. Leave him to his own devices, and he will become rowdy and willful. Give him martial. If he did that, he'd be martial +1 and intrigue +1. So his intrigue's already great, and his martial's not very good though. So this might offset that a little bit, or really boost his intrigue to make him better at spycraft. Another grandson who is absolutely awful at stewardship. So what can we choose to... Give him a stewardship education. Alright, let's try to increase that for you. Another grandson who is pretty awful at personal combat, so I don't know if there's anything you could do for a child to make them good at personal combat. I'm sure I'm picking the absolutely awful, most awful things here, but let's just also give him struggle. And another grandson. How many grandsons does this guy have? Jeez. He's 6-year-old and he is good at nothing. So what are we to give a 6-year-old who is absolutely good at nothing? Let's give him a humility training or focus. So he's tutored by servants, focusing on service and humility. He should become timid and affectionate. And that should be out. We have some even more focuses to give. Alright. Another grandson, awful at intrigue. I should have been paying attention to what they're good at when I set this for the last person. So this person is timid, and they're an idolizer, which gives them a boost to learning, so they will learn philosophy and religion. Since they are already predisposed to that, I'll give them that task. And we have a granddaughter. Finally, she is affectionate and curious, so she will be a good diplomat. So set that for her. And try to move on. So as a ruler, we have our court, our council, and we can set them to do various things. So I have a marshal who I always like to, unless we have so they can, let's just go ahead and go through what they can do. They can research military tech, they can train troops, or they can suppress revolts. But I don't think we have any revolts anywhere, so let's just go ahead and set him to train our main troops here in the capital. We have a really awful steward. He's the Baron though. You're only stewardship 5. Is there another guy we can give you, or we can make? So yeah, like these two guys are stewardship 9, so they'd be much better than him. But would I want to change them out? He's a pragmatist. You are a Glory Hound, I guess. And I don't know what your... I'm going to change my steward out to this prince, my one-eyed prince. And I'm going to set them to collect taxes. Spy Master. I want to set scheming in my home county so that they look for plots against us. And the court chaplain. I'm fairly sure that all the we don't have any rogue religions in our area. We could try to improve religious relations, maybe with the leader, so we could maybe send you. Send you to Rome, and maybe you can go petition the Pope on our behalf. And for you, so I'm going to leave that counselor for a moment, and let's look at de jure claims. So each county is part of a duchy, which is part of a kingdom, which is part of a empire. The county of Navarra is de jure, which means like of the law. So it is naturally part of the Duchy of Navarra, which includes Vizcaya and Navarra here, which is de jure part of the kingdom, which is all of this, and the Empire of Hispania, which is the rest of Spain. So, as a ruler, we traditionally want to go up that chain. So, we will want to take this, and we will want to take this, and that way we get our duchy. This county is de jure the Duchy of Aragon, which is the rest here. Unfortunately, that means we will have to fight the Muslim rulers down here, and they will band together to prevent a Catholic ruler from invading them. So I think we probably want to focus on Vizcaya. And let's just see, if I was going to declare war on them, which I'm not going to, but if I was going to declare war on them, I can't because I'm in a non-aggression pact. Lovely. Okay. Never mind then, I was going to go about seeing what it would take for that. I was going to have my guy go over there and fabricate a claim. So instead, maybe what I want to do is try to break up this big block here. The Umayyads. So you, my good sir, the Sultan. Do you have any vassals that really hate you that we can sow some dissent in? Different emirs. I think we probably want to push the emir of Mercia to revolt. Where is the emir of Mercia? Down here in Mercia. So let's say we send our chancellor, let's try this, to sow dissent here. Kind of rile people up and see if we can start a revolt and break up this big green blob, because we're definitely never going to be able to invade them at this point. They have 6,000 troops. We, on the other hand, have a measly 955, so not going to work out for us very well. But let's finally, after all that setup, after 25 minutes of setup, get the ball rolling and press play. And while we're doing that and just seeing what happens, let's check things out. So we've got... Immediately something pops up to interrupt me. Your rangers report of an erudite herbalist that resides in a hut on the outskirts of a nearby town. The herbalist named Teresa seems eager to accept the offer of becoming your personal physician and has prepared an immense bundle of strange herbs to be delivered to the court should she be accepted. And our two choices are, ah yes, herbal remedies sound good, bring her to the court, or I have changed my mind, I do not require her services. We click on her picture to see her stats. She's just a low-born, unmarried Basque woman, age 51, but she's got an amazingly high learning rate here of 15. So I think we will, well, let's see, she's a stubborn, gluttonous, charitable, erudite gardener who is a dutiful cleric. But yes, I think we'll bring her in, and she is now, should now be our court physician. Where's our counsel? Yep, there she is. Court physician, level 15. Okay. So going back, game's still moving on. Let's see. Our wife has no holdings. And our heir is this this guy who we made the steward. So he does not currently hold any holdings either. He's just a unlanded prince at this point, it seems like. He is married to this lady. Does she have any... Should tell me if she had any claims to any property. It doesn't look like she does. Yeah, I know, vassal inheritance, and I can... So I can press these claims and say, you know, these are de jure part of my lands, and I'll take them, but again, I'd have to fight someone that has significantly more people than me. I do have these children, though, that maybe I could do something with. Prince Anso, he is... I don't know what... So Prince Fortune is first in line, and then I guess all his children... Yeah. So what I'm doing here is looking at the pop-up you can see there in the line of succession. So we have the first in line is Fortune and his children, and Prince Enso over here is not in line, or very far down in line, so maybe we can arrange a beneficial marriage for him, since he is an unmarried male. So, let's see. Who has rank? Is there anyone that I can marry, or I can have him marry, that might get him some claims on things? And you need claims to go to war. You have to have a reason to go to war, essentially. but West Frankish princesses. So marrying, let's see, let's just, for example, if we were to marry Ermentrude, she has no claim on anything, but her father, King Charles the Bald, is ruler of all this place up here, and we would have a non-aggression pact with him if we married her. But he's not really a threat at this point. We have King Louis the Stammerer over here of Aquitaine. Does he have any children that we can... any family that we can marry into? Some siblings. Alright, let's get back to arranging this marriage. I don't see anything that's going to allow us to have a defensive or a non-aggression pact against the Stammerer to our east, our northeast. So let's just try to find a suitable bride with good stats. Like, we're looking for something like attractive because that's inheritable. And I know this is real thrilling entertainment, me having to explain everything, but I promise we'll get things moving fairly quickly, and I don't want to go down that far in the list because there's some lower ranking people. So, paranoid, ambitious, gregarious. I don't know if I want to give him an ambitious wife because he's so low down. He might decide to plot against our actual heir to move his rank up. So we've got Hildegard here. She's a humble, chaste, shy, zealous, and hold on. So this person's already in our kingdom, and she has a claim? Who is she? Who is Prince Gaton? Where are you, sir? Oh, over here. And she had... she had a claim on that? To the kingdom of Asturias, which is this whole section. Well, you know what? She might be a good match for our son here. It's a weak claim, so it'd be very hard to press it. We'd have to fight, you know, this entire guy to our west, who we can't fight, and even if we did, he has way more troops than us, I'm sure. And I did not want to do that. I want to do this. So we will propose that Prince Anso and Princess Eldonza get married as the relative of the king. Our son Anso would gain 42 prestige. And her liege is very willing to do so. So we'll go ahead and get that started. So that one princess already has a husband. And this princess, no husband. So what can we do? First of all, is there anyone willing to accept a matrilineal marriage? Which means any offspring from the marriage will become part of our Iniga line. So typically when you marry off your daughters, any offspring leave your lineage and aren't part of your house. But if we can get someone to agree to a matrilineal marriage, then that might be good for us, because we could potentially take some titles, like claim to whatever this is. What is that? The Petty Kingdom of Mumu, does that say? So that's up here in Ireland. It's pretty far away, but... Or else, if we didn't want to do a matrilineal marriage, who could we marry off? We could marry the... we could have our daughter marry our brother-in-law. We could have you marry some guy in Transylvania and Bulgaria. You know, we could get some probably pretty good non-aggression pacts if any of these people were currently breathing down our necks. But instead, I think I like the idea of trying to get a matrilineal marriage with some of these people. If we can find the right one. So I see here, this guy has a claim to Barcelona, which is really close by. A lot closer than Ireland is. So we might want to go with him. He's a gregarious, arbitrary, kind, chaste priest. So with him being chaste, we might not get very many offspring from him. And he's pretty crappy at most everything except for diplomacy, but all we want you for is your titles, honestly. So so he's heir to a bishopric. It's not great. It's not the whole county of Barcelona as I was hoping, but I'll take it. And our daughter will gain 4 prestige from marrying into the House of Barcelona. We start it again. Get something to actually happen. Alright. They have approved the marriage of our son. And she's come to the court. And they've also approved the marriage of our daughter matrilineally. So just taking a quick look as we zoom the time along. We have 731 army that we can raise, 413 army levies. Don't really care about that. Army levies from our vassals. So what's interesting is we don't have really direct control over our vassals. We can ask them to go to war, and some of their 413 people will come with us if they like us. Our steward was wounded. Our son was wounded while trying to collect taxes. Martial -1, health -1, personal combat skill -15. So he's already only has one eye and he was wounded again. It's kind of unlucky that that happened. So I'm noticing that this guy doesn't really like us because he was fired. And our grandson needs a focus. So he has this bonus, he's playful, he has this bonus to intrigue. So let's go ahead and set him up with that. We might eventually maybe try to send our... We can't do it right now because we can't reassign our chancellors. That's interesting. Typically you can't move your chancellor once they're set. Did they change that in the game? Alright. Fate smiles upon me. My wife, which I will not pronounce, Leodegundis, is pregnant. Extra prestige because everyone likes me because I've shown to be a virile king. Back to this. I was going to say we can move our chancellor up here to appease the Baron who we insulted by firing him, but I like having them down here sowing dissent. Can't do anything in the technology tree right now. And we could move to absolute cognatic. There's no reason. Should we? I mean, that was the whole point of becoming a a Basque culture, right? So right now we're agnatic, cognatic, gabokine, and we want to change this. We really want to get rid of this. This is no good. Eventually we'll want to probably go for primogenitor, but it'll take a while. But I think we want to confirm the change to absolute cognatic because that's the whole reason we came. So you see that automatically bumped some of these people down in the list. I think Aneko was the second in place, second in line, but now the granddaughter is first in line. So she was not eligible. She was in last place with the previous, and now because she's older, she's 18 and he's 16, she is first in line after the prince here because we changed that ruling. So let's see. Finally, let's see what this says. This pregnancy has made my wife much more talkative and cheerful as usual. She never misses the chance to chat with anybody within the earshot. Unfortunately, most scholars agree that a pregnant woman should spend as much time as possible resting in a dark room to avoid giving birth to a sickly child. We have the options of she should rest, so she gets -2 stewardship, but little bonus to health, or I will let her have her fun. She gets a little bonus to diplomacy because she's not stuck in a dark room all day, but -2 in stewardship. I think I'm gonna choose that one. There's no reason why she should be locked up in a dark room all day. Let her move around. Oh, excuse me, sir. Where are you going, sir? being always so distracted might have prevented my wife from taking a good rest, but all this talking with my vassals and servants has had the unforeseen advantage of strengthening her relation with many of the people in my court. How fortuitous. So where are you guys going? Who are you at war with? Give a quick pause. Who are you? So you're marching through. You're not at war with me, so you can't attack me. You're... Who are you? Oh, you're at war down here. So Aquitaine, who are you at war with right now? You are at war with Lotharingia. And oh, you have a holy war for Barcelona, so you've attacked the Muslims down here. Okay, let's see how that works out for you. You're doing pretty well so far. Kind of got them outmatched. But we're just gonna hang out and do nothing for now because there's not much we can do, being so low in status. We don't have a giant empire like the rest of these people. It occurred to me that my wife is feeling somewhat gloomy as of late. The burden of her unborn child is surely causing some humoral imbalance that is affecting her mood. So they have the option of buying her something or, I'm sure she'll be fine. So we'll lose some piety because we were dismissive of her when we should have been compassionate. Or we can lose 5 gold and she will get a tiny bit of health, 0.75 health. And there's a chance that I will gain charitable trait or the kind trait. We've got 138 gold up here in the top right, so 5 is not anything, so go ahead and buy her something. It doesn't look like we got any of those additional traits because I would have expected to pop up by now. Let's just watch the armies move around. Except this guy's got 2,600 troops right here, and we can hardly muster 1,000. And here comes 8,000 from the Byzantine Empire. We have a new son. A son was born to King Garcia, and his name is Aneko. I'm pretty sure we've got a grandson named Aneko, so that won't be confusing at all. As is tradition, my wife underwent her churching after recovering and cleansing herself from the recent pregnancy. Unfortunately, her mood was not improved by taking the Holy Communion. Perhaps some old sin is still weighing on her soul. Yes, so she must deal with that. Give a quick zoom out and take a look at what's going on in the world. Southern Spain and all of Northern Africa is held. Well, we can jump to the religion tab. So we can see Sunnis, Shias. The world is a dangerous place, and devious plots are everywhere. Rumors have reached you that people are conspiring to kill your son. Of course they are. A daughter was born to someone and Princess Mena of Navarra. Okay, so got a new granddaughter. Short. So, bunch of Islamic rulers down here in North Africa and southern Spain and all of the Middle East. Tiny bit of Zoroastrianism that will probably be wiped out pretty quickly. They tend to do that in this game. Catholic rulers, Orthodox Christian rulers, a big Jewish group here, which will probably also be wiped out fairly quickly. They tend to be attacked by everyone in this game and in real life. What do we got? Excuse me? My granddaughter wants to kill my son. We'll deal with that in a minute. So, Slavic rulers, Germanic, kind of North Germanic, pagan religions hiding up here, and a little bit of Germanic paganism has moved into the British Isles from Vikings. But let's have a quick look at our granddaughter. Our granddaughter that is married to a prince of the Muslim rulers down here. That's interesting. Curious how that happened. Maybe just a arranged marriage. It's pretty interesting. But we really can't have that, so can you please stop? Just ask her to please stop. Alright, the Pope likes us a little bit better. My liege, my mission to Roma has so far been a success. During my visit to the court of Pope Nicolaus, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and pious ruler you are. So the Pope gets plus 20 opinion of me. And my granddaughter decides she is going to stop trying to kill my son there. Very nice of her. King Arpad Almos of Hungary has decided to abandon his nomadic life and set down in Hungary with his followers. So there's a new kingdom here. New realm of Hungary. So I wonder how that that war didn't work out very well for Aquitaine, because I currently see this Muslim group being chased around, so there's some back and forth. I've managed to sow distrust between Emir Hamdan and his liege. It's awesome. It was even worse. I think it was like -50 before, right? Or is that... So, he's furious, but must have had some something given to him, if we were looking at it correctly, to make him like his liege better, because he was pretty angry before. Now he's just kind of angry. Unfortunately, there's long periods of just fast forwarding in this game, which may mean that we don't make this into a real long-lasting series on the channel, but give it a little go, a little taste, see what happens. You may or may not hear my cat being very angry about something, a little upset. Okay, my grandson Lope Fortunas, what would you like? We should give you a diplomatic education because you look like you might be good at it. Alright, whatever. Yeah, unfortunately, being a small nation here with no ability to really go to war against anyone, not much we can do. Oh, and of course, Pope Nicolaus has died because we just curried favor with him, and now he's got to die. You know, just because, to make all our efforts meaningless. I see the Baron has found himself a wife. I'm pretty sure he was unmarried before. I don't think I arranged a marriage for him. Recently, I have noticed the pitiful state of my son, Prince Eneko. So he's just the 1-year-old boy. I've just been informed that the cause of his aches and fatigue is the case of the flu. So we can call for the court physician, or you can just say, I don't care, let him die. But we're gonna call for the physician. Your court physician, Teresa, has gained widespread reputation. After having worked in your court, she's now considered a renowned physician. What does that make her? Gives her monthly prestige, a little diplomacy boost, learning boost, health boost, general opinion, so everyone likes her. I'm just going to peruse some of the tabs here. Alright, we've got our marshal has drummed up some troops. So, let's have a quick talk about laws. Like I said, we wanted to leave this Gavelkind here, probably pronouncing like all kinds of wrong, because it really splits up our holdings. Like if we have 2 counties, and we have 2 sons, like one is going to get one and one is going to get another, rather than our main heir inheriting everything. So ideally we would want to go for like primogeniture, but we can't because we need to have certain laws. Late feudal administration, imperial administration. And there's all these different different technologies that we can unlock. That gives us things like late feudal administration, medium centralization. So we have to go up this tree before we can unlock that law change. Your Marshal Duke Asnar II of Aragon has put forward a plan for experimentation with new military technology inspired by a supposed brilliant inventor and engineer that he has recently befriended. All we need is a little funding, so we'll give him 30 gold, or no, this is pointless. We've been gathering gold pretty steadily, so sure, let's give you 30 gold and see what happens. And my wife is pregnant again, more prestige for me. You have sowed some distrust down here. And this troop is really freaking the heck out right now. They don't know what they want to do. The pregnancy has caused my wife to develop quite the unusual tastes. Most of what she asks for dinner nowadays ranges from mildly unsettling to positively revolting. Still, scholars do agree that a pregnant woman's cravings should always be accommodated. So let's see what our options are. I will make sure she gets all she wants and more. Are you sure you do not mean a quail's leg, dear? What, a hare's head? Or, ugh, why on earth would you want a fish's eye? So, we can lose 1 gold, lose 1 gold, lose 1 gold, or lose 1.7 gold, and she might get the trait gluttonous. But she will also be well fed, which gives her bonus health. You know what? Let's check our stats here. We're diligent, patient, deceitful, temperate. So if we're temperate, that means he does not believe in gluttony. He's very everything in moderation kind of person. So the idea that his wife might become gluttonous is very distasteful to him, to his personal beliefs. So we'll choose one of the other options. And do we want to feed her a quail's foot, a hare's head, or a trout's eye? Let's just give you the trout's eyeball. You received a report on the outcome of military experiments that your marshal asked you to sponsor. Apparently a new kind of self-propelled arrow was tried out based on Far Eastern models. Lit by fire, these arrows would scream and fly away, leaving a trail of smoke and then explode on impact, killing several of the livestock used as practice targets. Though of dubious accuracy and prone to failure in rainy weather, these experiments have provided some valuable lessons. So we get plus 50 military technology points. And that must not be enough to... Well, we could upgrade infantry, but we can't upgrade the rest. We're still pretty far away from those. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be reading this out loud. That's, you know, demonetization and all that, even though I'm not monetized. Chance to get the traits lustful. Also a chance that I might die. It is good tradition to have some gossips around a pregnant woman in order to keep her calm and distracted from the tribulations of this delicate time in her life. As her husband, it is my duty to provide her with all the support she needs. She needs familiar faces. I will have some maids dispatched, and she doesn't need old women filling her heads with nonsense. So I get the choice of gaining 30 prestige, gain 10 piety. She gets health, a health bonus, and she likes me a bit more. Or I can lose 10 gold, gain 10 piety, and same thing. So I mean, there's no reason for me to spend gold. Unless I just want to role play this. No, have her family members come by and spend time with her. And my daughter has had another son. A daughter was born. So now we have Princess Joanna. And I think that's also where we'll call it. The time has ticked on to January 8th. 1872, so we've been blowing through a few years. We've set up, spent a lot of time setting up our counselors and what they want them to do, and marrying off some people, and now we're just kind of, unfortunately, in a waiting game to see what happens, because we need some of these larger people to break up, or we need to arrange some kind of marriage that will eventually get us to have additional holdings. But I think we're calling it here, and like I said, this may or may not continue as a new series. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for joining me. Give me any kind of opinions, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see how it goes, if I need to change some things, or if we need to rearrange some stuff. So, again, thanks for joining. Hope to see you again next time.